Hey guys, it's coming into my third month retired now, and so we just wanted to update how it's going. Financially speaking, we are starting to dip into our bridge fund, which is pretty much our investments and brokerage that we can access that's already been taxed and is not in any retirement accounts. And I think uh we are breaking into that a little bit earlier than I expected because I thought maybe I would wait until January or the end of the year to break into that. But I realized like my calculations at we're pretty much on budget, but I'll talk about that more in a bit. But my calculations did have emergency savings just in a high yield savings account all through out to the end of the year. But if we were to do that, we would pretty much have $0 in our emergency savings. And yes, we could quickly withdraw from our brokerage at the end of the year, but I felt more comfortable having a good buffer of high yield savings cash available. And so we decided to take out some money from our bridge account. So I set up a reoccurring monthly withdrawal from my Vanguard account. And it's a couple of steps that I didn't realize you should set up beforehand. So I might make a new video about that on how we set it up. For instance, when you are wanting to sell the shares from a mutual fund account and then deposit them into your bank account, you have to set kind of a cost basis on how to sell it. And on default, it's like average cost basis, which is not the most optimal for taxes. Um, Let me put my phone in silent. And uh, there's other ones like first in, first out, and there's ones like tax advantage. So I put the tax advantage one. So that one you want to set up beforehand because there's like a stipulation where if you start selling shares before you set that up, you're kind of stuck with that kind of method of selling unless you write them a letter or call them. There's so many hoops you have to go through. So luckily mine was unset and I was able to set it. So I might make another video of how the way I researched of how best to set up like a reoccurring withdrawal if you're looking to retire early and can't access your retirement accounts yet. And so with the sale of these, so far we have like the same amount coming out every month. That's starting next month. And I'm hoping that it will still have our investment balance either kept the same or growing. The market's been going up and down. We've been still in a bull market, but really it's not consistently up. So just trying to see if it could consistently stay the same or go up. That's the goal. So I'm not withdrawing too much where we're expected to dwindle our savings lower and lower every month. But if that happens, if the market goes down, we have a quite a big buffer. Again, maybe not like retiring forever, but just like at least a buffer of 10 years of just savings where we'll be okay before we really need to, before I really need to step into another job. Um, so we're really fortunate in that situation. And as far as our budget, so I have budgeted quite a hefty amount every month, more than we've spent before, for the sole reason because we have been so frugal and I realized that we can actually spend more and be okay. But I didn't expect to actually reach that number. However, we have. So even though I budgeted for it and we're okay, We have spent more than I guess I expected, especially these past few months, because I think mostly because as I've been going through my pregnancy, I just have not wanted to cook at all on, and I've just been averse to a lot of different foods. We've unfortunately had to throw away like eggs and other foods that gone bad, and so we've been relying on takeout a lot, and that has been increasing our costs so much, at least like 1,000 every month more than we usually spend. And yes, it's like in our budget, we're still within that budget, but I really thought we could save more money. And I from a lot of people I talk to, this is very normal. And I just read a Reddit comment this morning saying that that's my push present to be able to get takeout like almost every day. Uh, and so, yeah, we've been getting takeout like, yeah, pretty much every single day. Some of the takeout has lasted 2 days. So I'm like, hey, it's a little bit of a deal. But especially with food prices and restaurant prices and tips, it really, really adds up. And we don't even like DoorDash. I mean, maybe DoorDashed once when we both were feeling like, okay, let's not go out, and it was raining a lot. But we pick up our food too, so but yeah, it's still so expensive versus cooking. And I'm really proud of myself because yesterday was the first time I actually cooked a proper dinner for myself and my husband since I've been pregnant. I have tried to make like little things like omelets, maybe like microwave things, but last night was like I actually prepared chicken and cut up some chicken breasts from Costco and made a stir fry. Now, I did cheat a little bit. A great hack is frozen, prepared, pre cut vegetables. So I didn't have to deal with cutting vegetables. But yeah, I was cutting a bunch of chicken breasts and marinating that, stir frying it. It actually was really simple. It was like a 30-minute meal to prepare, especially with the vegetables already prepared. And to be honest, it wasn't my best work. It was like really bland, and I might have overcooked the chicken a little bit. But even with that, I'm very proud of myself, and it reminds me how much joy cooking gives me because I love cooking, and it's gotten me out of like depression in the past and stuff. So it reminded me of the joy of cooking, even though it wasn't like the best I've made. And, we need a little bit more salt and seasoning. I came away from there very full, very satiated, and also just like it was a lot healthier for me, with the ingredients, a lot less salty. It's just very hard to get a good, maybe affordable meal with takeout that's not as much salt. Everything just seems like so much extra salty to me more than I prefer. And so being able to cook my own meals, I'm able to help with that too. And maybe even help prevent some things that are susceptible in pregnancy for a lot of people, like gestational diabetes, and just keeping my body healthy and just my baby healthy. And so I'm not going to spend the whole video talking about pregnancy, but I'm going to talk about pregnancy a little bit here because it's just part of my story. And if you want to skip it, I know a lot of people, myself, am sensitive to other people's pregnancy stories. I will put chapters in the video as well. So, with pregnancy, not only did I surprise myself with how much I did not want to cook and would spend on takeout, which, again, I'm very fortunate we have the means to. Um, and I think it also helps when other people cook for you. I think I asked my mom for the first time if she could cook some Lao food and bring it over this week, because both my husband and I are kind of dealing with physical pains this week and stuff. But anyways, with pregnancy, other than like monetary stuff, some updates with like changes to my body that I didn't realize, a little bit annoyed with, okay, very annoyed with, is like now I'm 20 weeks pregnant and I am feeling, since like I was pretty much like 18 weeks, I've started been feeling a lot of soreness in just like the pelvic region, and I think they call it like round ligament pain. And everywhere I've researched now, um, I realize it's normal and it's a part of pregnancy, but it's hard. um, but what I'm going through is completely normal, which I am also appreciative of. I'm very grateful still, and I don't mind it, but I am annoyed by it because I'm sore every single day. I am sore every time I get up from the couch, the chair. I have to like be slow every time I roll around in bed. It's painful. And I talked to my doctors, and the last one I talked to, my OB, she was like a former CrossFit trainer too, but like they were like, yeah, you should work out more. But like I don't think I'm that out of shape. I did Orange Theory all year and I went consistently every week, and I just stopped going just recently. And so I don't think I'm that out of shape. And like stretching helps. So I try to do stretches and stuff, but I honestly just think it's a part of pregnancy that I didn't realize before, because I guess like um just hearing, I never hear other people complain about it, I guess, until I started researching like medical studies. Like, yeah, it's actually common, but maybe I'm a complainer. I don't know. But like my um, friend who recently had a baby, she said she never really experienced any pain or nausea throughout her whole pregnancy. So that's really great for her. And you never know how it goes because, like, she also had like a very difficult birth, and maybe I don't know if this means that like maybe my birth, like if I like feel like I'm suffering so much during pregnancy, maybe my birth will be less suffering. But who knows, maybe I'll get the worst of both ends, and it's completely normal. Even she's healthy now, her baby's healthy, and that's all I could wish for. I am feeling pain and soreness, but at the end of the day, I don't mind it. I understand it's a part of pregnancy. It's hard. I just need to take it slow, and I need to not be afraid to ask for help when I need to. There was another quote I came across related to pregnancy that like you don't win any points for being like a meteor, or you don't win any points for going through the suffering. So any help we could get is definitely valid, because pregnancy, labor, childbirth, it's normal for it to be hard, and it's different for every person, every body, and some people it might be harder than others. I'm very grateful that I haven't had like any abnormal symptoms like that. You know, you would talk to your doctor if you do have this and it might still be okay, but for instance, no bleeding or like no, nothing really abnormal. Everything's checked out, and the more I research medical documents, it's expected. I'm going through the normal pregnancy stuff, but I just didn't realize like, yeah, every day struggle, not gonna lie. You have to take it slow. I'm starting to walk my dog more every day, 30 minutes each time. I finally bought a pregnancy pillow that actually like wraps around my whole body. So in my bed, I'm like in my cocoon and stuff. It's really nice. I'm glad I got that. And I'm gonna buy like a pregnancy. I already bought it, but it's coming in a pregnancy kind of belly band. And so I, yeah, honestly, I was thinking like, oh, you know what, it's fine. I don't need that. But another person described it as like a sports bra for your belly because I do feel like I'm growing maybe a little bit faster than many women tend to for their first pregnancy at 20 weeks. Like, there's no hiding my belly. And again, it's different for every person, but I do feel like my body's changing a little bit faster. And you know, my BMI is like in the mid range. And yeah, and age, I don't think has really too much to do with it because, like I mentioned, my friend who recently gave birth and had like no negative complications other than just like her belly getting bigger naturally from it. She's a little bit older than me, so like younger, older, BMI, anything. It's just like you never know what factors will contribute to it. So I am getting a belly band. I really like the analogy that it's like a sports bra for your belly. So like when you're hanging out there and even just walking at the end of our walks, I am sore walking my dog at the end of those 30 minutes. So um I'm just buying some more things to help alleviate that. And just like, I really, really have to be careful with my breast pain. I think some women that don't go through surgery in their chest or breast cancer still might go through intense searing pain. Like sometimes I do with my breasts and my nipples, like especially after a hot shower. I can't take showers that are too hot now because it seems to inflame that area and just like go across my whole chest. There was one time where like I stepped out of the shower and I was like in so much pain, and maybe taking Tylenol would have helped. I should have probably taken Tylenol, but um it was just like stinging pain across my chest, and it lasted for a good half hour, and that was very unpleasant. So I just have to be a little bit more gentle with my body, a little bit more careful with my body, especially with like my thin skin on my chest after my surgery too, and just like pregnancy in general. And I realize I need to ask for a lot more from my loved ones. Not only like being patient with me, like moving around, walking around, but like just emotionally. I've been very sensitive and emotional to really everything that everyone says, even if it's like a little comment. And so I talked with my therapist about this, and it's really been helpful having therapy during this time. So, yeah, I've just been sensitive emotionally, physically, and it's just part of the process, at least for me. It's my story. And I think I was feeling self conscious a little bit because I would get comments like, oh, you think you're in pain now? Just wait. Or like a lot of, I guess, minimizing comments from people close to me. So that really was upsetting. So yeah, everybody's story is different. Everybody handles it differently. I know how strong I am. Like, I know I can take pain, and I don't mind having this pain, but um if I'm going to say it if I if I'm going to tell people I'm sore, then I'm sore. When I'm sore, like I'm not going to pretend that I'm like not feeling pain when I don't. Like, so there's no use in me minimizing my own pain. And I handle it. I get through it. But yeah, if someone asks me how I'm feeling, I'm gonna say I'm feeling sore. That's the truth. But yeah, of course, feeling grateful, all the things. But pregnancy's hard, man. So yeah, there's things that pregnancy is definitely affecting. and going through that. And I bought some new attire to not only the belly band and stuff, but I was also thinking of making a video of like an updated wardrobe, maybe like kind of after I bought those new dresses, what dresses I still use today, and some new items I bought. Yeah, I have a lot of video ideas. So I think that's really all I wanted to talk about pregnancy related things in this video. And so, other than that, I feel like I'm still resting in my early retirement. I started getting back on track with making videos on my other gaming channel. I finally reached 1,000 views, which is really cool. Now, I'm not monetized yet because my watch hours have gone down because I've been taking a lot of breaks, whether it's because of pregnancy or like other loved ones going to the hospital and me like being caretaker or just like life in general. I really took a lot more breaks um recently, and I, mentioned it to my audience. I was surprised that some of my audience did make comments, not mean or pushy or anything. They were just like wondering, "Oh, we noticed you haven't been posting as much," or like, maybe your views have gone down. There's a mosquito right there. I need to kill. Eesh. Okay, it will come. It will come later. I've been getting so many bug bites still. So yeah, so I felt like I had the energy and time to stream more, and I don't want to overwork myself. I know I was telling my husband like the other week. I was like, what if I um, you know, if I like make this video, maybe I'll get more views, or like if I make a scripted video versus just streaming, I think maybe I'll get more views and stuff. And then he was like, that just sounds like work. And I'm like, yeah, YouTube a lot of times, especially when you're trying to reach a goal of being monetized, it is work, but I don't need to go through that. I am putting in a little bit more work, more effort, unpaid, of course. And at the same time, making a lot of money is not, from YouTube, is not the goal. I don't think it's like realistic to really strive for that at this time, even after I get monetized. But I did cash my first $100 quote unquote paycheck from YouTube recently, which is exciting. And that was mostly from like um, memberships. And I have mixed thoughts about that because people have been asking to donate, but I really feel uncomfortable, especially on my gaming channel. It does attract a lot of kids, and I don't want kids donating to me. It's weird, especially when I make my own money. I have my own money. And so I don't really try to encourage the donation much, but some people have been really nice. And so over the years, I've accumulated that. And so I invested it in more like streaming equipment and stuff to make better videos, better quality videos, and stuff like that. So I'm excited that that's growing. I'm working on the watch hours now. And to be honest, um, I don't know if I'm starting to burn myself out again, because I'm like, I gotta stream more hours. I gotta like put more hours out there, because I find myself watching the watch hours fluctuate every day. And it's not reliable because, especially because I've been taking breaks throughout the past year. The watch hours count the last 365 days. So it's possible it can fluctuate, and I don't know if that's the best for my mental health to be watching that every day. It's weird that I would post pretty much every day and stream pretty much every day on that gaming channel when I started 4 years ago. And it was super easy for me to get watch hours. And that's usually the hardest part for people. They usually get like 1,000 subscribers first and then have to work on the watch hours. But for me, I got watch hours really early with only like 200 subscribers or something. And that's not like to brag, it's just to put in context. Like I did have it, but then it's like teeter totter. Now I have the monetary subscribers, but not amount, but not the watch hours. And like all these, it's just so silly because next year YouTube is implementing a policy where you need double the watch hours. So it's just going to be way harder to even think about making any type of dollars money from YouTube. I think for me it was just like a goal, and it would be nice to start getting something from advertisers, because like I still get ads on my videos, which is annoying, and like it would be nice for like Google to share some of that. But yeah, it's it's been a long journey to get to 1,000. I know a lot of people and a lot of others in my YouTube community that I interact with, like they've been at it longer than me and they're not at 1,000 yet. And it's so it's like sometimes takes even longer. So yeah, it also made me realize like YouTube is not a career where you should depend on to make any quick money. Like sometimes it takes years to make your first dollar if that's something that you would want to strive for. And yes, maybe I could have like grew it faster if I put in more work. And so that's a possibility as well. And sometimes if you put in more work, it just depends on luck. Anyways, it's just the numbers. I'm trying not to let it take over my life or anything. But it's been a cool journey, and so I'm continuing to work on getting that channel monetized. And on this channel, I'm just kind of like posting things that I think would be helpful to share to the world, amongst like some things that make me happy and maybe trauma dumps. But I know that sometimes they might not be like, yeah, I know like my gaming channel is gonna be like the one I want to grow monetarily more at this time, or like numbers wise more. But this one we're just chilling. But if you're joining on watching along, I appreciate you guys following along my early retirement journey. Be on the lookout for more random videos. I have a lot of ideas for videos. I just need to find the time and energy to actually record them, put my thoughts together for those. But yeah, anyways, that's my update for month 3 of early retirement. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.